Today, we are going to go through the melancholy of the individual gates and channels. The importance of this is knowing the energy that you carry because this energy can lead to depression. So understanding this energy will give you ideas of how to work with it. We're going to go through each one of these today and talk about our experiences and strategies that may help you.
To describe kind of the mechanics of how this operates for those that maybe didn't listen to the last episode and to kind of introduce this concept a little bit deeper, the way that individuality works within the human design chart, there are two different circuits. There's the knowing circuit, which we covered actually in the last episode, the full all of the channels. And then there's the integration circuit. And both, as well as the centering circuit,
Yeah.
And all of those will have this melancholy nature to them. And it shows up in different ways for each of the ones that all of these different circuits, but for the knowing circuit specifically, it can be this pulse that is your creative genius is just not working. And you want it to work so badly, but for some reason it's not working. And you might go through years where it's not flowing. Like I have heard, I think it was even maybe Raw talking about Bob Dylan and how he had all of these back-to-back hits and these albums, and it was always a hit. And then like 8 years where he produced nothing, or 10 years where he produced nothing. And he couldn't control when that mutative energy would come back. And so, of course, when you have this experience of being mutative and to bring things out into the world and to create change and to inspire and empower, and then suddenly you're not doing that.
Yeah.
It can feel dark. It can feel empty. There's so many different ways that it can show up. And each of the individual gates will show up in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So should we actually just start with the 60?
Let's do it.
So we both have 60. Mine is unconscious. Yours is conscious. And 60 is all about limitations and overcoming limitations. And when the pulse is off, my God, that's a horrible feeling. That's a really horrible feeling. My South Node is in 60 and my design South Node. And I made a discovery the other day when I was talking to a friend. We were talking about limitations and how you use that energy. Which I discovered through this conversation about how I was using the energy of limitations. I'm going to share TMI, but there's no such thing as TMI to me, so sorry. But I'd had issues with constipation my entire life. And so my friend was like, oh my God, I traveled and I didn't go to the bathroom for 2 days. And as we were talking about this, I was like, oh, it's been my whole life looking at my South Node in my body. And the sixth line of that is about limitation and is about unnecessary constraints. And I used to hold my bowels. Like I would hold it and not go. And so going through life with these unnecessary limitations and constraints and living in this with the pulse is on or the pulse is off, and maybe the pulse is on and I'm going to the bathroom or maybe not, right? But it's just the melancholy of not knowing if your energy is going to come back, not knowing if your creativity is coming back. It's really tough.
Mm-hmm. So we pulled up a kind of a document right before this that is kind of, where this comes from. We'll credit them in the show notes, but it says 60 specifically, the melancholy is about having nowhere to go. And it's that mutation. I want to change something. I want to do something, but I'm just stuck here. I'm stuck. And it's the feeling like Raw, when he talks about the individual melancholy circuit, he uses this voice of like, nothing's happening. When's something going to happen? It's Eeyore.
Yeah.
Eeyore energy. And I think the freeing side of it is, oh, this is merely a frequency.
Yeah.
I don't need to attach feeling or emotion or make myself wrong for it or say, this is why I feel the way that I do. Okay, this is a frequency that is moving through me and this is my current reality. And as someone with the channel of struggle being like a melancholy, very melancholy, one of the harder frequencies, the 360, the 2838, and the 3955 are like the harder.
Super potential for major depression.
Yeah. including suicide for the
Yes.
2838.
Yes.
And it is so freeing to realize you can actually sit in that really uncomfortable place and find peace
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah. Knowing that that's the energy that you carry. Oh, I can't do anything right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do something, right? There is somewhere to go in that I can be creative somewhere. What makes me happy in this moment? And again, it's that knowing, the knowing circuit coming back to this moment. What can I do right now to actually just feel good and not worry so much about there's something wrong with me, that there's nowhere to go. There's something wrong with me that I can't get out of this. And I think that's the big piece of the depression is when we label and we judge, oh, there's something wrong with me. Why can't, or where'd this energy go that I had before? I don't understand. Why can't I get free from this? Why can't I move forward? Instead of just sitting and saying, all right, this is just the energy right now. I'm not going to judge this. I don't need a story for it. This is just where I'm at right now. And this is energy that I carry. I'm aware that I carry this. Okay.
There's nowhere to go and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
easier said than done. But I think the more that you practice it, the more that you can live in that moment and recognize too, and this comes 100% from me. I don't you can test it and see if it's accurate. But what I have found to be incredibly beneficial whenever, and I've mentioned it previously, whenever I'm in that melancholy state, is okay, how can I click into my collective gates and feel that frequency a little bit more? Because when you're individual and you're in your individual Eeyore energy, it's like, now how can I click out of that and get into a sharing experience in the collective, or tap into the mundane routine and rituals of the tribe and actually learn to enjoy them and get value from those things? That has been incredibly beneficial. So, I'm living in the melancholy of whatever it is, gate 60 being nowhere to go. Let me look at my chart and let me tap into the 1156 and say, I want to share stories. What stories do I want to share? I want to journal about stories, or I want to not whatever it is.
This is where I say, okay, well, I'm just going to create some content. I'm just going to tap into the emotions and my experiences and just start writing. And usually that works. Not always. Sometimes I'll just take a nap.
Yeah, I think allowing wherever, like for me, when the pulse is off, it's like step away from the computer. That's like the phrase that I use constantly to allow that to be the case. So like, it is interesting to hear you say I create content during that moment.
Yeah.
For me, I was like the complete opposite. But yeah. And then the melancholy of the 3, since we're on the 360, is melancholy about nothing ever lasting.
Yeah. Yeah. The 3 gets stuck in, it's always new experiences. It's always new experiences. And nothing stays the same. And the 3 is experiencing something new that it has no reference for. It's brand new. And so in that, it starts to get lost in the melancholy of like everything is always changing, not knowing now how to navigate it, and everything is always changing.
And it's Aries. And Aries is in your face, loud. It wants to go pretty quickly, move. It wants to do things.
Yes.
It's new beginnings, right?
Always.
3 is new beginnings. And so when nothing is ever going to last, the melancholy of nothing ever lasts, these are directly attached to the gifts of each of them, right? So nowhere to go with the 60, right? And then the 3, nothing will last. It's like, that is the gift of the 360, is that it will mutate, it will change, because it has this underlying frequency that is operating within
Always
it, that is
moving,
driving you to do,
14 is not wanting to work. But yeah, it's the melancholy about having to work or not. And oh God, when I'm really happy in my career, when I'm happy with what's happening, and I don't always have access to this, right? But it was very conditioned. My father has this. My mother has this. They both have hanging 14s. And I'm with my husband most of the time who has sacral energy. He doesn't have the 14, but that gives me that access to that energy. And it's really hard. And I'll marry this with the 57. So the 57 we'll talk a little bit more about, but the 57 is fear of tomorrow and not wanting to face another day. So to marry this with the 14 and the 57 of, oh my God, I don't even want tomorrow to happen. And oh my God, I have to work and I don't have the energy. I don't have the resources. I just, can't do this. It's a terrible melancholy. It's a terrible feeling. But sitting in that going, okay, I know I don't want to work right now. One, can I get out of it? Is there a way to actually just change my situation? And if there's not,
New date.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's not, then sitting in it and going, okay, all right, I'm just not going to be as happy today. I'm not going to be this bubbly, vivacious practitioner. Instead, I'm just going to let my clients know I'm kind of having an off day. I'm tired today. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, not making yourself wrong for having these feelings and emotions. Because when you do, when you put reason to why you don't want to work, I don't want to work because I hate my client, or I don't want to work because I didn't have my caffeine this morning because I left it in the fridge, right, or whatever, which is me this morning, then it turns from melancholy to depression.
Yeah. Sorry, especially if you have a job you don't like. My father hated his job, factory worker, a lot of tribal energy, get up, you go, you do, right? Collective energy. But it was very much watching the frustration as a generator, always having access to this, and the melancholy of, I have to work tomorrow. I hate my job. I can never get out of this. And it created a constant depression. It turned into a depression. And watching retirement, him go into retirement was so beautiful. Wow. Like this is still the resources, the drive to work, but now he enjoys taking care of the house and where he's using his energy.
And interesting in terms of, we mentioned this in the last episode, how the 214 is the visionary of the company. It's not the generator that's going to have their hands on doing, like, in a certain different, like in maybe a 515 way that's going to be very like routine oriented and whatnot, right? So this is coming out of the sacral. So if someone has maybe just 14 like you do, and an open sacral will operate differently. But if they have that full 214 and they're a generator and they're here to be satisfied doing what they love, if you are living in that doer capacity of the day-to-day grind, this is your energy in a way directing you into more of a high-level visionary type role.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's that strategy and authority. Is this making me happy? Is this satisfying? Yeah, 100%. And then feeling the melancholy of that. No, it's not satisfying. I don't want to work. Yes.
So the melancholy of gate 2 is melancholy about things not moving fast enough.
Yeah.
I totally have seen this in gate 2 people.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Let's drive, move, come on. Yeah. I want this done now. This should have been done yesterday. Let's keep moving. And it's the mutations not happening fast enough. I'm putting out all this information. I'm giving all this direction. And I know exactly where I'm supposed to be going, but nothing is happening.
And because individuals move so much faster than like on their individual path versus having to take an entire group to go, I could see that being very challenging, especially in a Pinta dynamic where suddenly you're being pulled into the group and slowed down.
Yes. And I think there can be a frustration too if you're hanging too and you don't have 14, you don't have those resources to have that melancholy of like, I know what is supposed to be happening, but nothing is moving fast enough. I don't have the energy. I don't have the resources. Come on, life. Yeah.
Barbara, my human design teacher, has 2 in her son as a projector. Yeah, with a family that was like extremely defined G, she explained it as. And I think also having the 14 and she describes like going to college, and because I was like, what was that like when you left your house
Yeah.
and you didn't have that anymore? She said she went into an eating disorder and ended up going down that path,
Yeah.
and how challenging it was for her to be in this state of like, now I don't have, I mean, she has a defined identity center with 3313, but like that, I thought it was such an interesting experience. And I could see that melancholy nature of things not moving fast enough. I've lost the generator energy. I'm a projector. This is not making sense. Not knowing
Yeah.
human design and the effect that it can have on your life, and the power that can come with the awareness of, oh, I'm a gate 2 person.
Yes.
And I'm a projector, and this is okay. And
Yep.
things will work out and things will succeed.
Yeah.
And I can just sit back and wait.
Yeah.
And have that freedom.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
ultimately, we want to, like, this episode could almost seem very depressing, right? Like, but we really want to, in some ways, give you permission for what you feel, give you verbiage to describe the melancholy and what it is. And so that in some ways, all you're doing, and we want you to experiment with this. This is not, here's your label for life and this is how you are. It's more so, you're going to try this on and you're going to see how it feels. And then you'll also have verbiage to describe it to other people, what it is.
Yeah.
And an opportunity to say, it's okay.
Exactly. This has been one of the most profound things in working with clients, being able to talk about, because not everything is positive, right? I mean, not everything about us is a positive. Now, we can turn it into that, right? We can understand and accept. But this has been very profound in working with clients who have depression or are judging themselves, where we just have to actually say, hey, hold on. This is the energy that you carry. This is what's here. Now, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you judge it, when you say there's something wrong with me, there's something that I need to fix or change, and instead just say, this is actually the energy I carry, and this is okay for me right now. Is it always okay in the moment? No. Sometimes we make commitments or plans and it's just bad timing, but it's then okay, there's nothing wrong with me. I just know that this pulse is off, or that I am just not wanting to work today, or whatever it may be. And being able to say, I can deal with this. There's nothing wrong with me. I can deal with this. Yeah. And I love what you say, having verbiage for it. I think that's wonderful to be able just to tell people, well, this is kind of a part of me and I don't need to excuse it.
And it comes with a gift.
Yes.
Which is on the flip side of what we talked about last week,
Yes.
right? So being the driver that moves things forward, that has direction, that gives direction to people, that inspires people with your mutative direction.
Yes.
You could be empowered by that. And yeah, sure, it comes with occasionally the feeling of not wanting to work and feeling like things take too long.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
Exactly.
So gate 1, go ahead.
Ra talks about this one as people saying the worst thing you can say to this person is, oh, you remind me of. Yeah. And I know a couple of ones where I'm very careful, like when we're in the office now, I don't ever say anything like that. And to be able to say, oh, you are different and you are unique in this way. So when they lose that unique identity or don't feel unique in the world, that becomes a very melancholic place. Yeah.
I could so see that. It's an unconscious one in my Pluto
How do you
transformation.
experience that?
One is an interesting one. It was one of, no pun intended, it was one of the ones that when I first discovered human design, I grabbed onto it because it was creative expression, which is like my whole career is creative expression.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of direction through my creative expression in many ways. And not having 8 and how to mold it to actually sell in a certain way, right? Like it's just creative expression for the sake of creative expression. So yeah, looking at it from melancholy about not being seen as different, I, previous to human design, was really into the Enneagram.
Yeah.
And I was at first, when I first discovered it, I thought I was Enneagram 3, wing 4, which is being the achiever, going after what I want. Like if I'm not achieving, I'm not lovable. Well, the feeling of the 4 is if I'm not unique, I'm not lovable.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I could see that like quality of wanting to be different, wanting to be unique. And almost the resistance that can come with that I've felt it with human design too, with like, am I really going down this path of human design that is like such a defined system? And now I'm just sharing a defined system.
Yeah.
That's already defined, that's already mutated. You know?
Yes.
Like, okay, how do you do this differently?
Yeah.
Can you do it differently? Or is it already mutated? Right?
Yeah.
But it's like we do it differently by how we all express and live it, and
100%.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But I could totally see that. 100%.
Oh, that's interesting. Being totally open G. These are newer concepts to me. The feeling of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so good. All right, let's see what 8 is then.
Yes. Melancholy about no one paying attention. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine any projector anyone carrying this, but I imagine any projector carrying this energy really like just being unseen, being creative, being out there doing your thing. And then no one noticing that creativity, no one noticing how you could potentially transmute everything around you, this potential that you have through your creativity.
Wow. Wow. I feel like it's clicking more as we're kind of talking through it. I think, in the previous episode, I had talked about my friend who was a 1/8 that felt like held down by the algorithm.
Yes.
Which is being different. I want to be different than the algorithm, right? So I don't want to create in that way. I don't feel like I fit in that way, but I'm not getting the attention that I deserve.
Yes.
Right? And just totally seeing that melancholy. The 1/8, when you're around a melancholic 1/8, it's painful because it verbalizes its depression.
Yes.
It's one of the most depressing acoustic sounds that you can hear comes from 1/8s.
Yes.
And I think understanding that that's where it's coming from is I want to be seen as different and I want to have attention for my uniqueness.
Yeah.
Well, wow, that's a freeing experience. So like if you're a mom to a 1/8 child, giving that affirmation and giving the space for them to be creative,
yes,
it could really help them lean into that and allow them to, own their identity in that versus maybe having like an open identity or an open ego where they're going to have to prove that.
Yes.
Right? And how that could pull them away from just be yourself. You don't need to get attention. You don't have it. Well, maybe, I could see an 8. If you have a defined 8 in an open center, an open throat, and you're trying to get attention, I could see that being amplified massively.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. But I think that's what I love about the melancholy discussion is it is finding where the creativity comes from because melancholy is deeply creative. Deeply, deeply creative. And when you can stop judging and not move into depression, you actually can express in that way. So I think a lot of times the 1 and the 8, probably the 8 in particular, with that creativity, is able to, well, the 1 also, both of them.
I was like, why not the 1?
Both of them. But it's when you're able to not judge it, not have that story, when you can just say, okay, well, I'm going to be creative now and be damned everyone else around me, then the beauty that comes from that individuality creation and that melancholy and being able to sit in that, I think is amazing.
All right, so let's bounce to the 61, melancholy over lack of inspiration.
My God, I hate when my head is defined. When the transits are in or I'm around someone who brings that definition. Right now we're doing this. The 63 is in Saturn, I think, right now. And oh my God, that 61, I don't normally have access to it. I don't normally feel it. But a couple weeks ago, or a week ago, it was intense. That lack of inspiration, I learned that's what was going on. And so to be able to just step out and say, okay, I'm not feeling inspired right now. I'm noticing that I am looking for something on TV to watch. I'm scouring YouTube. I'm trying to listen to human design material. Nothing is inspiring. Nothing. There's no food that's inspiring. There's nothing. I think for me, that's the worst feeling that I've had. And maybe because I don't have it all the time. But to not feel inspired is just, it's very deeply melancholic, because then what do? I'll just sleep, or I'll exercise. I'll get on my bike. But even then, nothing is lighting you up. It's it's a really terrible feeling. It's a really terrible feeling.
So how do you work with it when it comes up?
Yeah, so the awareness was really big, because I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I can't eat enough, I can't watch enough, I can't do anything enough, and nothing is working. So I had a story, I had a narrative of like, there's just, I started saying, oh, my pulse is off, there's something wrong. But that wasn't it. I had energy. It was there. It was just that lack of inspiration. So going through, looking at the transits and actually being able to say, oh, this is what this is. I'm not inspired. Okay, I don't need to be inspired. What does my body want to do right now? So I cleaned my house. It was not inspiring at all, but it felt good to my body. And that's all that mattered. That was enough to get through it. And that lasted a few days of, knowing, okay, nothing I listen to is going to be perfect, but I'll put on some videos. I actually ended up listening to some human design that I did find a little bit inspiring, so that was good.
Yeah, I think the realization that when another activation occurs within the center that you have open with these dormant gates or hanging gates, forget what one refers to the open center, how they get activated, and how sometimes it's not the activation of that is actually coming in the transit that is driving you crazy. It could be those other ones. It's really
Yes.
interesting, because I had a previous experience like that too. That's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Interesting. Okay. So as a mom to a 6124, I need to keep in mind he's gonna have melancholy over that lack of inspiration. I
Yeah.
could see that. None of my toys inspire me anymore. And I think because it's like you live in the mind, these people live in the mind, and if their mind isn't interesting, then it's like I could see that 100%.
Yes.
Okay, so 24, rationalization, melancholy over no resolution, and therefore no inner silence.
Yeah. Ross says it. I think it's this gate that he says that these are the ones that people go insane, because there's just a constant dialogue, constant mental pressure of like the trying to figure it out, and then the rationalizing and the being certain and understanding.
Sam has this in his chart, my husband. I need to see where the placement is, but I definitely had like realized that like at some point in time, and I've paid attention to it.
Yeah.
And when 61 comes in the transit, because 61 has been came in the transits for a long time recently, like last year, I think, for 8 months or something like that. And it really is so real in terms of that. I'm constantly telling him, like, are you trying to prove certainty? Are you trying to prove certainty? And it's I think whenever you have these things and you're experiencing these melancholies, it's like, look at the center, the questions for that open center, if it's happening in an open center. And then that can be your redirect to, okay, let me drop into my body. Let me drop into my sacral and what my sacral is wanting to do right now. What would be satisfying?
Yeah.
Right. So yes, you may not gain mental clarity and come to a conclusion on this thing, but why keep living there when you can shift? And that's why strategy and authority is everything in human design. Coming back to that always. Because it's like, okay, I'm living here. Let me jump into where, like, this is my not self, right?
Yes.
Now, if it's a full channel, right, there is also the gift and awareness that it comes when it comes.
Yeah.
And I can actually deal with this mental pressure, and this is a gift of mine.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that's empowering for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, 4323. Melancholy over inefficiency.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
You have it hanging. What is your experience with that?
Oh man, as a projector with limited energy, inefficiency drives me crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I want to just point it out, especially with, I guess this is a projected channel. Let me tell you all the things that you're doing wrong about this, that we could make it more efficient. It wants to talk about the inefficiency.
Yes.
That's definitely my experience.
Yes.
It's interesting, though, it's inefficiency because, trying to prove certainty, that's a very different, I don't necessarily see the connection there just yet.
I feel like a lot of times it's systems inefficiency, it's energy inefficiency, how you're using your energy. I think maybe especially projector, but how you're using so much energy.
Or is it mental awareness
With-
inefficiency?
And that can be too. That can be too. Sometimes it's missing an exit. Yeah. So now there's all this time that's wasted.
As we talk it out, I almost feel like the inefficiency, because it's tied, I don't think it's energy, because that would be, a different center. It's not on a motor.
Right.
I mean, it's witnessing it.
Awareness of the waste of energy.
Awareness,
so it is awareness.
mental awareness
Yeah.
of the inefficiency of where your mental awareness is going potentially. I could see that.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of conspiracy theory videos that are in my household. Right? Like,
Yeah.
the inefficiency of it. It's like, yes, maybe this thing is happening, but maybe you deal with it when it comes.
Yeah.
When the world is falling, we will know that the world is falling
Yes.
apart.
Yes.
Do we need to know in advance?
Yes. Well, and I think too, like Ra talks about that he was trying to learn computers and, he was jumping steps ahead and it felt very overwhelming. And someone showed him something about this is how you do it. And it was profoundly life-changing. And I feel like I do that a lot. I'm like, I just want the fastest, easiest way. Just get me exactly where I need to go and give me that little paragraph of information. That's all I want. And had I just started at the beginning and gone through, so it was a very inefficient use of my time to go through and to jump and try and skip steps and just get to where I was trying to go. And then it's melancholy over like, I can't just find it. Like, this is a waste of time.
Waste of time is such a big trigger.
Yeah.
Totally.
Huge.
And I could see with the 4323, the inefficiency of communication.
Yeah.
As
very.
well, where it's like, I'm talking and I'm filling dead air. This is not actually getting my point across.
Yeah.
I think a lot of 4323s feel that like it's not coming out how I want it to come out.
100%. Yeah. And that's very frustrating. And that is very melancholic because I've got this genius insight that's right here that I can't get. Okay. Then I just don't know what I don't know, and that sucks.
And yet we can't know what we don't know.
So that's the melancholy of the 23. Inability to explain oneself clearly. That's the melancholy of where I judge myself and I feel stupid. Like, oh, I've got this, what feels like to me a brilliant insight. Like it's got to come out. I've got to like tell the world about this. And then it comes out and wrong timing, wrong people, just not efficient. Oh my God. I look like a complete fool and I judge myself and yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's so interesting going through these because you really do understand the channel so much more when you see the melancholy of each side, because once again, it's so tied to that gift.
Yes.
It's timing. It's the melancholy of the pulse being off.
Yes.
I can't explain this right now. I'm being inefficient in how I'm explaining this right now.
Yes.
The frustration of not being able to explain it. It's like the pulse is off. Close your mouth. It's okay. It will come back.
Yes. And to be able to just say, I don't know. I don't know right now. I don't know. And that, to be okay with that, to not judge yourself for not knowing. There's a knowing, it's coming. You'll know. You'll know when the time is right. It will come together one way or the other. I don't know.
It's totally that duality. You
Yeah.
either know or you don't know.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
so it's, you either can explain something clearly or you can't explain something clearly.
Yes.
And so it's, it really does make so much sense why the melancholy nature comes through with this one, especially because I think one of the reasons why there's more melancholy in the individual circuit compared to the collective or the tribal is that there's no logic and there's no experience.
Yes.
It's an internal reality that you're having that's isolating.
Exactly. Exactly. You feel it or you don't. You know or you don't. And there's not always words for it. There are not always words for it. 100%.
My 4323 just clearly explained that to you. I'm just kidding. Kidding. All right, jump down. Which direction do we want to go? Do we want to go instinctual or do we want to go up through the emotions?
Let's go instinctual.
Okay, let's go instinctual. Yes. 38. Melancholy over not knowing what to fight for.
Tell me about it.
Eye roll. Times 20. Oh. I have this 5 times right in my chart, 38. So, and it's what makes me unusual, Uranus, how I'm unique in how I fight. And it is so real. I think the melancholy of not knowing what to fight for. That is my biggest challenge over the last several years has been my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which is also my greatest gift.
Yeah.
Right? That duality of the two, of not knowing what is worth fighting for in terms of, am I fighting for self-expression on my channel or am I fighting for people to get their message out there?
Oh, wow.
And like each is a challenge.
Yeah.
But it's a different challenge. And learning that I'm individual and I have a personal view of the world has led me more towards that self-expression. And in doing that, I will inspire these people to get their message out there.
Yes.
But I'm not actively teaching this because I'm not collective. Right?
Yes.
It's been a very interesting challenge, but like constantly living in I don't know if this is worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Am I even like, and maybe the one popping in there of
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of how to do this in a unique way.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because it's not like we just experience one gate or one channel at a time. The melancholy of it. We get to mix and match them, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the experience of having multiple things that I want to fight for and narrowing it down.
Yeah.
I have definitely had many times where it's like, there's nothing to fight for.
Yeah.
And so the melancholy of not only what to fight for, not knowing what to fight for, but it's like the melancholy of there's nothing to fight for. Like that's when it's like why life is so meaningless. And then the fight just starts happening with whoever's around you.
Yeah.
Because you got to fight. So it shows up somehow.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've had a lot of people reach out to me about 28, 38 children and how to work better with them. And I'm like, you got to give them something. You got to give them something that they individually can drive towards.
Yeah.
You know, this is Capricorn.
Yeah.
Capricorn shows up so much in my chart. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it is business, ambition, being a leader, you know, driving. And so if you're not driving, then what is life?
Hence the melancholy.
Which brings us to the 28.
Life as devoid of purpose. What is the purpose in life? I have that in the 6th line. I think I've talked about this in other episodes, but it's I'd rather burn it all down than suffer. Again, an argument with my husband, let's just get divorced then. I can't deal with this. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't, struggling with my business. I'm just going to quit. I want to be done. I don't like where I'm at in life and I don't know how long this is going to last. I'd just rather die. I would rather die. That's a tough energy. And that's a tough energy when, especially, in relationship where he doesn't have any of those lines. Forget it. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I just want out. I want out. I want out. I want out. I want out. That's been a huge theme in my life. I want out. I want to be done. I want to die.
My husband has 28/6 as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he's compromised to mine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which we could do a whole thing on compromises. That's one we should definitely put on.
100%.
it's almost like you don't see a way out because you don't have that fighter energy. If it's just 28,
Yes.
it's like you don't have the energy to fight.
Yeah.
So just the easiest way to get out is death. This is where suicide lives in the chart.
Yep.
It is that
Yep.
specific line. And it doesn't mean that if you have 28, like it, I think I could see suicide being in this chart in general. I don't have 28 line 6.
Yeah.
But I could see it.
Purposelessness. What's the purpose of life? Yeah.
It's just in it all right now.
Absolutely.
And recognizing that once again, the duality of it is you can experience purpose greater than anyone.
Yeah.
Like it was such a huge realization for me.
Yeah.
That people are okay living without purpose. What do you mean?
Yes.
Like, what? So funny.
Yeah. I love, I don't love this line because this line, I feel like after learning it, it unlocked a lot of memories for me in my teenage years of really feeling suicidal. I had forgotten, kind of blocked that out, and got to go kind of relive some of that somatically and going through those emotions and remembering what that was like. So I think, for parents, it can be really helpful to know, does your child have this gate? And, and especially if it's hanging, right? Do they have this where there's nothing else and there's just a purposelessness? And finding ways to actually be okay. I don't have to have purpose right now. My purpose is coming. Or I will find purpose, but right now, there are other ways that I can live. My strategy and authority, what's making me happy right now, what, do I just need to rest? Am I just tired? And that's why I feel a purposelessness. So, but I think it can be really helpful, and especially in today's society where teens especially and tweens are really struggling. And there's a feeling overall, I think, with Gen Z of purposelessness in general, to be able to really know your child's chart and is this an issue, and to really be watching that and helping them through that, letting them know that there will be purpose. It's okay to feel this way right now. It doesn't mean that there's going to be no end to the struggle, but try to relax into it and find other ways to find happiness.
And from a Gene Keys perspective, its totality is how you shift out of the purposelessness shadow.
Yes.
And having something for your child to go all in on.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be giant purpose.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that they're fulfilling their life path right now.
Right.
But having a purpose to where you get home from school and you're going to draw in your coloring book, and it brings like a feeling of purpose,
Yes.
where you're getting better, you're growing, you're challenged, you've accepted the adventure of a challenge,
Yes.
because that's really what the 28 is. It's the game player. What journey am I going to go on?
Yeah.
And it's not journeying from this place of experience. It's more internal journey of the challenge of the hero's journey and going to, finding a mentor, going through the trials and tribulations, emerging as a hero on the other side. So I would say, if your child has 28-6, helping them really tune into where are you in your hero's journey, and what hero's journey do you want to take next? And recognizing you're a hero. You're a hero.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And living that.
Yeah.
I think would be.
That's beautiful. I love that.
And recognizing that the magic happens in the moment. You don't have to have, coming back to, it doesn't have to be a big purpose in life. It doesn't have to be that major thing. Because I think I kind of misunderstood that for a long time with the 28-38. And then, through ceremonies, really was able to tap in with the magic of the moment.
Yeah.
And the magic of, once again, us living right here, feeling this table.
Yes.
That this is the solid structure in front of us, that two individuals are having a conversation that thousands, possibly people, will hear.
Yes.
Right? That are impacting wherever you are right now watching this video, in your kitchen, on a run, whatever it is, right? It's there's a magic of right now.
Yes.
That is outside of a greater purpose.
Yes. And that's true for individual, collective, tribal, doesn't matter. That's true for everyone. For everyone. especially if you have those individual gates and channels, being able to tap into that now, being able to feel that now can be very, very soothing to the system. Very, very soothing, because you can tap into the energy of what is now. What is the pulse right now? Is it on or is it off? And I don't need to judge it.
The collective, past and future, individual, present.
Yes.
Okay, 57. Melancholy through hearing.
Oh my God. Learning the melancholy of this gate, it gave me an understanding of my nervous system in childhood. Because it was lots of, and Mom, Dad, I know you're going to watch this. This is not about you. I love you both. But there was so much yelling in my household. 2 undefined throat centers. Thought 2, emotionally defined, 1 emotionally defined. Ooh, the emotions ran the house. And to listen to all the yelling, to listen to not being able to change the sounds around me. Having 20 be my conditioner and having my husband now, we'll get to the 20 here in a second, talking about the now and being upset in the now, and also being connected to the 34, so the charisma, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's all my vocalizations about how I don't like it, or the arguing that's happening growing up. Oh my God. The depression that happens because you can't change the sounds that are around you. And especially as a child, you cannot change these sounds. You cannot change these dynamics. So to have that, then also have the 28-6, where I just want to die rather than know how long I'm going to have to endure this. I understood. And so that's another reason I love these melancholies. You get to look back and go, whoa, that wasn't my fault. Oh my God, I understand myself now. I understand the dynamics. But to have that and to understand my childhood and why I was so upregulated and why with times I was suicidal, that I just wanted to die. And now knowing that most of the time I can just change my environment and change the acoustics and what I'm listening to. If I can't handle it, if the news is too negative, if there's things going on around that I don't like, I can change it and get out of that melancholy.
You can mutate.
Yes. Yes.
That's a great reflection and fascinating. I mean, we were talking about that on the way here to a degree. And the individual circuit, for those that don't know, is about acoustics. And 57 is the right ear in the chart.
Yeah.
And I had someone that I knew, he was talking about, like, he used to do calls like this, and now he's switched to doing calls like this, which Gen Z would do this. And how much more powerful it became when he began to use the right ear. But in general, the acoustics of the individual circuit can be so powerful when you understand, oh, I'm in melancholy. Let me play some music. It can immediately remove the pressure from the 6124.
Yes.
Right? It can give you something like some energy of where to move and what to do with the 360, right? Like all of these different things.
Yeah.
The acoustic can be something that actually is satisfying to listen to. And so music is just so, so important for all of these things. So like, yeah, a child that's in a house where parents are arguing, having them be able to play music and have access to play music.
Yeah.
There's these new, really pretty cool boxes that are like ridiculously expensive, but it's cool. I haven't gone there yet, but I think I probably will eventually, that are, they allow kids to put a character on a box. It's called Tony Box. And then it'll play a story or a song or something so that they're in control of their sound environment.
Wow.
Like they can wake up and they can listen to this and they can listen to that. Or little boxes that, you know, it's kind of like a radio that have music and such. I feel like children need that are individual.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, especially
100%.
with the 57, if they can control their environment. Because you as an adult can move.
Yep.
and get out of the house and go for a walk.
Yes.
But a child can't.
No, a child can't change their environment.
Yeah.
They can't change their environment. And I think this explains too, because 57 also talks about, it's fear. The fear is the fear of tomorrow. But a 57 doesn't want to go to bed, right? It's really hard to go to bed. And I'll find this, the 20 wants to go to bed now in hopes that there's a better day tomorrow. It's my husband. So all the time we get into these I'm like, I don't really want tomorrow to come. I just kind of want to be in this moment right here, right now. I don't want to think about tomorrow. So 5 more minutes of a show or 10 more minutes. And he's like, I just want this day to end. Let's go to bed now. I can't do that. It gives me anxiety, right? So there's that. Sometimes I just let myself watch TV until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because I know there is a melancholy over tomorrow. I don't want to face tomorrow. I don't want another day of melancholy to come. So I just allow that I'll just stay up a little bit later. And eventually my body will fall asleep and it will be okay.
Okay, 20. Discomfort with the world as it is now.
Oh my God.
So you're here to be very wise to that with your bridge.
Yes. Yes. Very, very wise.
And you witness it in your husband.
All the time.
I witness that in my son.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. The vocalization, this person to me is the most depressing person because I can't, and especially with the 34, can't actually do anything, powerless to change what's happening in the now that's making them upset is really hard. It's really difficult when people are dissatisfied with the now. Very, very difficult. Because what can you do to change it? I don't like the way the world is behaving. I don't like what's happening in my home. It's very uncomfortable. I feel like these people are very uncomfortable in their skin. I don't know what to do with myself. And so a lot of times when I have 20s, turn the news off. You don't like what's happening with the world, turn it off. Start becoming a little bit deaf to some of these things. And what can you do right now that does feel fulfilling your strategy or authority? Can you just go for a walk? Can you do some breathing? What can you do in the now that is in your control?
So good. I feel like you just perfectly described 20.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything to add. I guess my small thing that I would add is with a toddler, 2-year-old that has the frustration of the 34-20 when nothing is happening. He's going through the terrible twos, whatever that is. And it's so no, everything is no.
Yeah.
I want to do, it's do you want to read a book? No. Do you want to put on clothes? No. Do you want to eat? No. Right? It's nothing is satisfying right now.
Yeah.
And you can just tell it. But it's okay. There'll be that one thing that kind of clicks them out of it. You know, that it's just finding that one thing. So yeah, go for a walk, breathe, whatever it is, but it needs to mutate.
Yes.
There needs to be change.
Exactly.
So with 57, I could hear change your environment, right? 20, kind of a similar thing to a degree. Now, I wonder how that would shift if someone has a defined identity, but yeah, I could still see it being beneficial because it is that interaction with others.
Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes too, if it's a hanging 20, it's not connected to any energy, then you may not, or if it's connected to 10, that changes it also. But there sometimes it's just nothing is going to make me happy right now. Nothing is going to satisfy me right now. I don't like the way things are right now. And actually just being okay with that. I don't have to change anything. Things just kind of suck right now. And sometimes that's enough. Okay. And then with my husband, it's well, things just kind of suck right now. Okay. Then he will naturally, I'm going to go play a video game. Okay. I don't like the video game. It sucks. But I'm keeping myself entertained. Perfect. Go ahead. You be depressed playing your video game.
Oh, that's so good. And if he's talking to people, that's a shared experience, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's clicking into the collective a little bit, we talked about. I can't express the power of that enough for me. Has been just so big to be like, I'm depressed. Cool. Let me click into this other collective side, or my tribal side or whatever.
Yes.
It's just so fascinating.
Being totally splenic and timing and loving this conversation. We don't have enough time to finish them all. So why don't we're just going to talk about the ones that we didn't cover. And then if anybody has questions of them, throw it in the comments. And then, maybe we can talk about that in a future episode if people want to hear that.
And a quick plug for our community too. If you ever want to come and hang out with us and have these conversations and process life decisions and process the melancholy and all of that, we have a community that is bi-weekly where we meet and have a Zoom session where people get to do that. So just a quick little plug for that if you are enjoying this conversation and really want to engage with us.
Yes, we love to guide. Come join us.
All right, so let's fly through them. So we'll do 10, the melancholy that no one else knows how to behave.
Yes.
Ra talks about that a lot.
Yes. So the 10 is connected. If it's connected to 34, it becomes about the self. That's part of that centering circuit. So 10 to 34 is about self behavior within the world, and that changes a little bit. So 10 hanging or connected to the 20 or the 57 is all about behavior of the other in the world.
And then the 34, frustration over not being able to use one's power in the now.
Yeah, powerlessness to change, to mutate.
Okay, 25, melancholy about being insignificant. Wish we had time to expand upon that, but we're going to put a pin in it.
Because
That is
you have
interesting.
the 25, right?
Yeah, I have 25. It's my unconscious
right there.
moon.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Yeah, melancholy about being insignificant. It's interesting because they're both in the identity center, the 1 and the 25, and those feel very similar to me. Being unique or being insignificant.
That's interesting. And I wonder if, because insignificant, the way that I would look at it, I don't have the energy, so I don't know, but it's not necessarily that you have to be unique, but just of use. Maybe. And so that's interesting that it probably flavors your 1 flavors your 25.
That's really interesting. And pointing to the ego. Now I want to prove that significance.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm being driven by that. The moon. Or your emotional inner world from an astrology perspective.
Yes.
Okay, 51.
That one is melancholy about lack of excitement. So, quick note about that one. Ra talks about this one. That people have a hanging 51 are often the ones that have the most heart conditions. So they're constantly shocking themselves and unable to follow it through with the full channel.
3955. I can't believe we're skipping the we're flying through the melancholy of the 3955.
So important.
We could probably do an entire episode on this in the future. So definitely subscribe if you are not already. 39, melancholy over not knowing whom to provoke.
You carry that energy.
I do.
Yeah. And then 55 is emptiness leading to potential eating disorders. When I'm lit up, 100% I carry that. There's a reason I'm a nutritionist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember when I first learned about the 55 and I looked at someone that I know that had an eating disorder and yep, there you go, 3955. It's like, boom, right there.
Yeah.
And filling that emptiness with food makes sense. The comfort, having that spirit in you in a way. Okay, 12.
That is melancholy over nothing to listen to. So a lot of times new age music or new music, modern music is very uninspiring to people that maybe there's just nothing good to listen to. I feel like I carry this energy and I have none.
Well, it sounds similar to the 57.
Yeah, I think so.
They're sad about the
mirrors.
Acoustics of what it is. Yeah, it's the left ear.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, melancholy over nothing to listen to. Yeah. And I could see how that also probably relates to your 61 being uninspired.
Absolutely.
So I could see how that might relate.
Yeah.
They're all in the same stream, right?
Yes.
And 22, melancholy that there is 22 is melancholy that there is nothing to listen to.
Yes.
Okay, so that is
And
Got
the
it.
12 is there's no one to say something to.
There
or
is no
to-
one worth telling anything to.
Yes. And this is the most transmutive line, the most social line and or channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's deeply melancholic when you feel like there's no one to talk to.
And yet, right timing will come and those people will arrive and you will be
You
mutative
will
and inspiring
change
and
their
empower.
lives.
That's the takeaway. If you have any of these, you are empowering. You're here to empower others, to inspire others, to be self-empowered by these frequencies. And so hopefully this exploration really gave you an awareness of how to work with these energies and understand other people in your life that are also dealing with this. Because I think understanding, even though, we're talking about the knowing circuit, it's like it can be such a gift to just say, oh, that's how this person is. And now I get it. And I don't have to judge them
It's huge
externally.
when we meet like our human design community or we meet, our projector groups, just being able to look at someone's chart and there's no judgment. It's like, oh, okay, I understand exactly what that means. No problem. I understand that this person's in the low of a wave. Cool. No problem. You do you. Yeah. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And to know that your depression doesn't necessarily have to be depression. That this melancholy is something that you can work with versus need to change, because that's the problem. When you judge it and feel the need that you have to change something within yourself because you don't fit in individual channels that you don't fit in, then that's where the depression kicks in. There's something wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Understand your energy, learn how to work with that energy, and no apologies for that energy. Behavior sometimes. Watch your behaviors, use strategy and authority. But there's no apologies for the energy that you carry. It's just a part of you.
On that note, thanks for watching. Share your experience in the comments below and engage with us. We would love to get to know you more. Join that community if you're interested. And we'll see you in the next video.